Welcome. Good evening, everyone. This is Pamela Marie Edmunds, and I am speaking to you from the gorgeous, energetic, full of love, red rocks of Sedona, Arizona. Been out here for 5 years, and it's an amazing energy. If you haven't got out here, please put it on your list. And I do want to say, yes, it's getting a bit commercial. People are finding it all across this country, and they want to be out here. Yet it's kind of like, for those of us who are spiritual and wish to focus on those attributes, that's what we do. We kind of tune into what we want. So anyway, and welcome to MJ. Awesome. Another actress. She's originally an East Coaster from Long Island and is now in Florida, and we've connected, so she's here for tonight's show. So this is Love Never Dies radio show, and I am your host. I am a medium, have been doing this mediumship work now, oh gosh, 2000, I'd say, and do a number of different types of readings, do this radio show, and I'm teaching mediumship. Anybody is interested. All of that information plus the show is on my website, PamelaMarieEdmunds.com. Want to share next week's guest here before we get talking about tonight. Hang on a minute, remind myself. See if I hope I pronounce this right. Stacy Kopchinsky. She is a reverend. She is a certified medium, and she's a commissioned healer, all within the spiritualist community. Matter of fact, she works in a place called the Morris Pratt office. Anybody who has any connection to spiritualism will recognize that it's in Wisconsin, and that she's the person you call that gives you some help there. So she will be on the show, and it's going to be a conversation, a discussion about natural law. Now, some people are saying, what the heck is natural law? Well, natural law is what occurs without us being in charge of it. Okay? All the different aspects of mediumship are overseen by natural law. One simple one I can tell you, gravity, the law of gravity. God's in charge of that, creator and universe, and all these others. But I'm going to leave that for that's next week's show, and just kind of let you know that that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. So it will be something rather informative, and for people who are studying mediumship, be a great topic to kind of brush up on. People who aren't and just want to understand a little bit more about how does this phenomena occur, and it's powerful. So tonight is, don't mind me, I need to keep reminding myself, meet my guide and teacher, Arthur. All of us who work as mediums have a group, a team of guides who come in to assist us with that work. And I just want to say, whether you're a medium or not, you've got guides already. You've got guides that work with you. And they're probably assisting you in walking your spiritual path. They're probably helping you out in growing spiritually. Those of us or you who may be healers also have guides specifically to help you out with that. And that's another whole, well, it's a bit of a topic tied to this, isn't it? Yeah. And now, having been a medium for 20 plus years now, I've changed, I've grown. And what happens during that time that we grow and we awaken more spiritually? Our guides change. They come and they go. It's kind of like school. It is a form of schooling, okay? So Arthur appeared to me in my life. I was back east. Let me get this about right. I'm going to say about 8 years ago. And at the time, I was doing some work through a number of the churches, which was very important, spiritualist churches, where they have the belief in the continuity of life, and they often have classes for people who want to learn more about mediumship, want to take their mediumship skills to a higher level. Plus, it's so important to be with people who understand the likeness of awakening spiritually. Because as we learn to study mediumship, could be healing too, we change, we grow. Okay, what do? We're becoming closer to that which is light. Okay, so one day I was doing an event at one of the churches. There was myself and definitely another person. And the other person, okay, was Deborah. I'm gonna, that's just her first name is gonna be it. She and I were sitting on what we call the podium, the platform, and we were doing an evening event. Well, she was doing some authoring of some books, and somehow, in between message work, we got to talk a little bit. And obviously being very tuned to spirit. And she'd acknowledged that she had this wonderful helper, Arthur, who was working with her. And she said, oh, and by the way, he's around you. Okay. Well, for those of you who don't know the punchline here is Arthur's full name is Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Okay. Sir Arthur Conan Doyle is most well known for his detective books, okay? For his, oh gosh, I'm definitely connected in spirit while I'm here talking. I'm needing to go back and remember the name of the books that he works with, and that is funny. That is funny as all heck. That for anybody here who works with mediumship, several people are listening to me right now. When we're working with spirit, we want to be in that right side of the brain, and sometimes have difficulty going back to our memory. Sherlock Holmes, thank you. Somebody gave that to me. And I believe there is, oh God, there's 20 or 30 books, okay, authored by him for Sherlock Holmes, plus other articles, pamphlets. And at some point during his life, he had several losses. Now he's from UK, British, and he started delving into the paranormal. And he wrote some wonderful books, one of which, it's a dry book, but it's fairly thick, is I believe it's History of Spiritualism. Is that correct? Myrna, give me a nod on that. Thank you. And I believe it's even part 1 and part 2, but it's a bit dry. Thank you. Thank you. It's something you can't rush through very easily. And it talks all about the various mediums of the times and what kind of work they did. And now remember, he was investigating. He was part of these psychical researches organizations, of which I didn't realize there's one here in America now. I came up with our guest last week, Joe Giaquinto, who is also a medium, but a paranormal researcher. So that's something if anybody wants to look up. And the whole purpose of the work research was to say that somebody was fake, or they had no clue how the person was getting this information, these experiences as mediums, meaning it was valid. So anyway, Arthur started coming forward. Matter of fact, I can share one experience here for anybody who knows the First Spiritualist Church of Onset, Massachusetts. Okay. And just simply say Reverend Kathleen at the time. And they had a house next to the church. And what they were doing after services, they were darkening the rooms. And these two pastors who were there would do something called, what do you call it? When transfiguration, okay? And what that term means is spirit can use our physical body and there's another form of, oh gosh, I'm losing, it's awful. I'm working well with spirit, but my brain. And what they would do would use something called ectoplasm. Thank you. And ectoplasm is created with the medium, but also with spirit. And that ectoplasm would assist in giving visuals of loved ones, kind of like a ticker tape. Okay, or the old-fashioned movies on the reel. It would flick, 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 so you get different screens of various loved ones. Well, they had this going on after the service, and I got the nudge to go in. There was quite a few people. Everything was all darkened. There were shades pulled up. There were blankets, etc., put across anything that could creep any light in. And these two mediums sat in the dark with a red light. And what occurred was numerous loved ones of those who were present in the room would flash across their face. Quite an experience. Well, I wasn't watching it. Now you got to think about this. The energy is extremely high. Okay, for anybody who has been around any spiritual phenomena. I went into trance. Nobody knew. And Arthur came in. And during this hour, I'd say it was about an hour, we would do some singing to help keep the vibration up. Number of things occurred. Every time I opened my mouth, it wasn't me. It was Arthur speaking through me. And I literally at times can remember kind of the man thing with my arms across my chest like this. It's the best way I can call it. Kind of makes me think of something a man would do more so than a female, okay? And what kept occurring was, it's like I was extremely distanced from my body, and Arthur was speaking through me during these songs. So the end of the experience, these particular mediums who were doing the wonderful transfiguration, what they like to do is go around the room, have everybody acknowledge that they're back, okay? And the comment was because often people will go into a trance state, okay? So they knew this. So they went around the room and everybody acknowledged by name, I'm here. When they came to me, I spoke in a deep male voice, Arthur, okay? And he says, and I'm Arthur. And he shared that he was Arthur Conan Doyle, and that there was more physical phenomenon that would be coming to the planet, and spoke about transfiguration and a few other things. And it was like I had no control over it, okay? He was in charge, which was fine because I had been doing trance work since the late 90s. Mother Mary and a few others, okay? So I felt safe, I felt comfortable. But I want to tell you, once I came back from that experience, came out of it, I was totally discombobulated. It was, oh my gosh, okay? It was, oh my gosh. Since then, I have a number of times taught trance channeling, trance mediumship, whichever term fits best for you. And of course, Arthur comes in to help out. But most recently now, he's here as a teacher for me, a fatherly figure, but also a comrade, okay? And so tonight, what I want to do is bring him through in trance, okay? And for everyone, I guess I want to say is, if you've not experienced this before, please just be open, okay? Be open and go with what feels right to you, okay? And it's interesting, back whenever I first started doing messages in this way, back in the late 90s, I went to a couple teachers asking them, you know, because Mother Mary was coming through, and it's like, how is that possible? Well, one person said to me, and this is the best way to evaluate, is that, is the information that comes forward helpful? Is it pertinent? Is it coming from love? Is it healing? And that it does not matter who they say they are. That's not the important part. It's the information. Okay. Another aspect was, make sure it's not coming from ego. Okay. So over the years, I've found that the more I've taken care of myself and opened myself up spiritually and healed my past, the more the spirits come forward. Okay. Any quick questions from the group that is present here right now before I go into a session with Arthur? Put your hand up if you want to say something or ask a question. I want to tell you, I feel safe when I do this, okay? And for those of you who are sensitive, I'm usually hovering about here, outside of my body, okay? All right. And I'm aware of what's going on, but I'm not in charge of what's happening. I'm not in charge of what's being said. And that's a good thing, because when we work with spirit in this way, we want their message to be unclouded by us. Okay? All right. So if there's no questions, then I'm going to do a trance state here with Arthur. And I love watching MJ. She's out walking while I'm doing while we're doing the show here. She's out in nature somewhere. That's good. Hopefully it's not too warm back there. She's in Florida. So anyway, so I'm going to quietly shut my eyes. I'm going to do some prayer. And then all of a sudden, I'm going to start talking. And what I want to say to you is that you're going to see a difference in the way I speak. You're going to see a different mannerism, et cetera, because it's not me. Okay? All right. What a pleasure to be here speaking to those of you who are present for Pamela Marie's audio video show, I call it. Yes, I've been here listening and allowing Pamela to do things on her own. And in some ways, I chuckle when she can't even remember the name of the detective that I've written about in so many years, for so many times, and how important it is for not only her, but for myself and others to acknowledge that. She is such a dear, and so grateful for her opportunity to use her vehicle to communicate in this way. And I just adore coming in and assisting her with her growth, her advancement with her spiritual gifts. The times here upon this planet are challenging for many. And the most important thing that people can do is to step away from the dark forces, step away from the negativity of various people, but to go within who you are and to connect up to that divine energy of love from that God figure. Many of you are questioning, is this Arthur speaking through Pamela, or is this something else? Listen to your heart, follow your intuition, and know that it will guide you, it will lead you. And this gift of communication in this way is of great importance during these times, but is also of the utmost importance for anyone who may be doing physical mediumship in the future. As I speak here now, there are several who are listening who will be a part of physical mediumship during their life here, as will Pamela Marie. And for you to know that there will be many important beings who will present themselves to assist in this process. Just as I have come forward to assist Pamela Marie in her process of learning how to get out of the way in a loving, kind way, to allow others to speak through her so that she can answer questions and assist others like you who are listening. And I wish to allow a few questions, and questions can be most of any topic that you choose. And you'll need to merely turn on your sound and do it one at a time to speak. Comments or questions from the listening group here now. And that's okay if you do not wish to speak. I hear a voice now. Please identify yourself.
This is Mary.
Yes, yes. We've spoken before, have we not?
Not that I know of.
Okay, go right ahead.
Do you get tired? How does this affect you when you come through?
I believe the question is to Pamela Marie. Does she get tired? Is that correct?
No, you.
Arthur or
Yeah,
Pamela
Arthur.
Marie?
Arthur.
No, no, there is no sense of tiredness. Remember, I come from the light. I'm working with you from the light, from the higher dimensions. And as far as Pamela Marie goes too, she is merely, I'll say, enlightened, charged. It's like being in a meditative state for her.
Oh, okay.
And for me, it's merely I'm borrowing her. I'm using her physical being, her physical body we're sharing to speak through her. And it is not difficult. There is no difficulty there. So anything else, dear?
Not now.
Thank you for asking. Thank you for speaking up. Is there somebody else who would like to say something, ask a question, or share? That is okay. So you understand, you see and feel the experience that is occurring here. And you obviously can tell that Pamela Marie is stepped aside and that she will be back. Not that she's gone too far, she is listening to all of this, but she will be back as I once stepped away. So I wish to thank you all for listening to me speak. Thank you for this time. And to please know that my communicating through Pamela Marie is to help many of you. And that she is also available to do private sessions with any of you who may have interest. My love is with you. I wish you all the best upon this journey here on the earth, this beautiful planet. And know that everything is happening is for the best of all. Your friend, Arthur. Okay. One thing I'm feeling is important to address is Myrna, I believe, is in a altered state. I know that she's done some work with trance with others. I want to see if whomever is working through Myrna would like to speak. Now it's about me unmuting her, having trouble unmuting her. Well, I guess she's not supposed to. Is Myrna able to reach the pad there? I feel like you had somebody there and I'd like to allow them to speak. Are you able to unmute? Because I'm not able to do from this side. I'm sensing it. And I know you've done some work with trance.
Well, they started taking me out as soon as you started.
I saw that.
But I really don't have the words.
That's okay.
But
Is there a Native American who wants to speak through you at some times?
No, I don't believe so. I don't
Okay.
believe so.
Okay. Because I do sense a strong protector behind you.
I do have a Native American guide.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay. All right.
yeah.
Okay. So it's interesting. I was sharing my story of how Arthur came through. I don't know if you remember hearing that. Well, some other mediums were doing some transfiguration, and it was like, whoa. And so they said, all of a sudden, it's like, yeah, I could see you taking off, but that's okay. That's okay. And keep up the work of whatever you're doing in regards to that.
Oh,
And what I want to
absolutely.
and I want to say is, if you could feel Arthur's energy, ask him to help you.
Okay.
All right. I feel like that's a part of why you're here, to allow him to connect with. And I also want to say MJ at some time in the future, Mary Jean, who's listening, and she's stopping all of a sudden. What's Pamela saying now? She's talking to me. And I want to say at some point you will find that you're open for trance too. And that Arthur's here to help you if you want to ask him too. Okay.
Thank you. Yes,
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate that. Thank you.
Welcome. Okay. All right. Anything else the two of you want to say? I want the other girls speak too.
When Arthur is leaving you, do you physically feel him leaving? Or do you just come out of the trance?
I just come out of the trance. And basically, I've been doing this kind of work for so long now. And I will tell you, I've got like 25 beings who've been tranced through me, and they're all the wise ones, they're called. They're all listed on my website. And it's just natural for me now. And from what my experience has been, I learned how to leave my body as a little girl because it wasn't safe to be here in my body. And that is often a very common thing that relates from one trance medium to another. Okay. All right. And it's a gift as long as you have healed from whatever those reasons were that you left. Okay. So, and been able to practice till all your life some way or another, and adult spirit says, okay, it's time. All right. And one thing I did years ago when I first started this, I told them, I gave them permission. I said, I will gladly do this work. You will need to bring people to me to teach me. Well, Arthur showed up. I also had a wonderful teacher, Rita Berkowitz, for mediumship from Massachusetts, for people who recognize her. But I also said, and if it's important for me to be doing what they call a deep trance, where I do not remember anything, if that's important for me to do, I'm willing to do so, and help me find somebody to teach me, because it's with deep trance that spirit can use us to the utmost, because our consciousness is completely out of the way. All right. Right now, they're accessing the words that are in my vocabulary, my library. Okay. But the more I do this, the less and less it's me. Okay. All right. So, okay. Sherry, this is a new experience for you. I know it is. Can you unmute, please? You got muted back again. Can't hear you. There.
Can you, like, do random people just come in to you? Or like you said, it's the wise ones, the people that want to teach you, but can like just random people who want to say, I want to talk to this person?
Different people work at different levels with spirit. Actually, and I'm going to share, may I just, without getting into details, just say that you and I did do a reading recently.
Uh-huh.
And then at some point, all of a sudden, person who we brought through was just talk, which was not something they were able to do when they were here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Could almost say that is channeling. Everybody works differently. And once you open up the doorway to working with mediumship in whatever way, spirit's going to lead you, let you know what is the best way to go, okay? And what they want to be able to use you for to help humanity, okay? So yes, to you, yes, loved ones can come through in that way. But of course, there needs to be a strong connection. Now, for me, when I worked with Arthur, I was hovering here. I don't know if anybody could tell that, but it's usually here. Years back, I'm going to say some 20 years ago, I can remember sitting meditating, getting ready to do some channeling. And I literally was up here above my body and looking down on myself. And matter of fact, Myrna, that was at your center, and that's interesting. I was literally up here and I could see the top of my head and me just vegging out. It's happened one time, but it was to confirm to me that, yes, you're out of your body. I also can feel I'm here, and other people who are capable of sensing spirit work with spirit, where at times have said, yes, you're over here. You're not. It's like I'm in a little box. I'm safe, I'm comfy, but I've separated myself. Okay, my essence has left. That's the part that we communicate with as mental mediums to the end. We communicate from this plane to the spirit plane. Okay. This has gotten heavier than I thought it was going to be tonight, but this is good. This is awesome. This is good. Okay, Mary, the other Mary, who's from Texas. This is all new to you, right? Can you,
Yes.
Any comments?
No, it's pretty intense.
Yeah. Were you able to tell that was not me speaking?
Yeah. You had a different look about you.
Thank you. That's exactly what happens. Sometimes I've had other mediums say, I could see your mustache. Arthur would have a mustache.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, the last time he showed himself to me, probably about a week ago, he was wearing one of those caps with the little snap in the front that you would, that the British would wear in a little sports car, the picture of a little sports car. And he was wearing a sweater over a dress shirt with a tie, but the tie was not something that I would think of. Let's see, he's been gone. He passed in the early 1930s, so I'll give you an idea. And then he's always got a little dog with him. He's an animal lover. So, awesome.
Yeah.
Other comments, questions? And I think this was a comfortable group here for a couple reasons. For Myrna to be able to go and step away from herself. For MJ, Mary Jean, I like that, to be able to kind of listen and contemplate all of this information. I don't know. I know I did a trance workshop back at Summerland when you used to go there back on Long Island. I don't know if you got an opportunity to try it out back then.
I don't recall, to tell you the truth, but I did a lot of work with them. and I'm familiar with trance work because I was going to the church every week. So, and I, was with Richard Chola, so I am very familiar with it.
Okay. But you.
I did have a question.
Sure.
Yeah, I think you answered it already though. But even with mediumship, sometimes somebody, after you're finished with somebody, then they'll sometimes ask you a question. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm already done and I can't even remember anything that I might have answered. So, I mean, if you're doing cards, it's one thing, but with the mediumship, if I'm already out of that realm, I can't go back into it. And
Well,
once I'm done,
yep.
once I'm closed down with them, that's it.
Yep. Well, and that's good for everybody else here to know, because we don't want to keep connected to these spirits from the other side. We love them dearly, yet they can affect our energies negatively if we stay attached to them. Okay. We want to open appropriately with prayer and intention, but we also want to close down. And the way I'll close down is after I complete this show, I will thank all the helpers who came in, because it wasn't just me doing this with Arthur. There were lots of helpers who have different aspects of what they're doing to assist with this. So anyway, yeah. So this is one of the services I do offer. I will say Arthur was pretty serious talking. He can get humorous. Okay. He is there is a fun side of him, but apparently everybody needed to hear the serious side tonight. Okay. They needed to hear the serious side. Are there any other comments or questions or even shares, anything that anybody, because this was, it was intense. And I tell you, last night I did this other show with the Pleiadians, and then I actually started talk about intense, big time. Yeah. So, but Myrna, keep doing what you're doing. I only happen to know that you were doing some trance when it came up. I believe it came up last week. With Joe's show. Yeah, and you shared about an experience with light, I believe it was.
Yes.
That was pretty powerful, and it could be mind blowing to have things like that happen. Okay.
It was wonderful. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm afraid I missed the whole thing. I went out totally.
Well, what we can do is, it's going to be on my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And what I can do specifically, since you're telling me that now, what I can do, dear, is send you the link once it's processed. Okay.
Oh, great.
All right.
Great.
Send you the link, because it's kind of like, wait a minute, I was here, but I didn't hear a thing. Well, and that's showing that you were in a good trance state. Okay.
Very deep.
Very deep. Yeah. Okay. And you've got a large team that's helping you do that. Okay.
Okay.
Large team who's helping you do that. So, okay. We still got about another 10 minutes here to fill. Anybody got something else? Mary?
I do. This is gonna sound weird, but
No, don't worry about it.
do any bad guides come through?
Okay. That's one thing that, as mediums, whether we're doing mental mediumship, which you've seen me do here before, or we're doing something like trance, okay? We sit and do prayer, okay? We ask for protection. We call upon our guides, our teachers, and all of that. And what it does is it keeps out the bad or the negativity, okay?
Okay.
Otherwise, I would not be doing trance. Okay.
I know.
Plus what's happened for me over the years of doing this work, I have built up trust with my guides. Okay. And I think Mary Jean and Myrna can relate to that, both being mediums and understanding that they're going to take care of me. I still need to ask, I still need to do the work. Okay. One great, couple of great resources for protection, if you're ever looking for protection, is white light. Okay. Calling in the white light around you. Archangel Michael is a wonderful, great protective energy. Okay. And another thing that we as mediums have come to learn is that it's probably, this is your probably Myrna's Native American that we were talking about previously, is often a protector, but also is something we call a doorkeeper. Okay.
Mm.
And what they do is they keep watch between the two worlds. And they watch over us. We've got to ask them, we've got to remind them, because that's part of our job. Okay. But they are there, and that gives comfort to myself, and I'm sure to the others who are listening to me right now, because they're not going to let us down. All right. Myrna, comments about doorkeeper?
Absolutely. It is, it is your commitment with your guides to stay at the level of the highest and best. And
Thank
that's,
you.
That's something that, whenever I do mediumship or whenever I work the church, it's, I am here, I am going to work, be with me, and I ask that it be for the highest and best
Yes,
for all and out of love.
absolutely. And that, a lot of that ties into us healing ourselves.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's a big deal.
Mhm.
But it's a good thing in the long run, because we move ourselves through some of these events from the past, emotions that we no longer need, that don't serve us, but
Yes.
we're raising our vibration so that we can be a clearer channel for spirit, or the clearest channel possible.
Mhm.
So Mary Jean, any comments on this?
No, in fact, but I'm sitting here thinking.
You're breaking up a little bit. I'm going to let you know that.
Okay. Can you hear
Are you on your cell
me
phone?
now?
Something's blocking you. I'm not sure. Try
Can you
talking
hear me?
again.
Yeah, I'm only on my cell phone. Yeah.
That's better.
Spirit.
That's better. Whatever you do.
Okay. Okay. I know I could think of like one or two instances where I felt the energy not as positive as I would have liked. And so I have this rapport with my guides, and I'm like, I'm not liking this energy. And you either have to and I've asked them to step in for protection. So maybe I wasn't as strong in my prayer in the opening or something, but I have called on them and they have cleaned it up after that. So,
Right.
I know they're always there.
Right. And the other component that you're reminding me of there as you were talking is many of us do sit and do readings for other people on a professional level. And we can pick up some of lot of times people come to us because they have a need. Okay. They're grieving a loss of somebody, or they want some guidance or whatever. But what I want to say too is we want to really make sure that we sever that energy that we talked about. We want to sever ourselves from them, because we don't want to be taking on any of that grief that is theirs, that they're working through. Yeah, it's a circle is what it is. We need to be the best that we can so that we can give out the best that we can. Okay. Awesome. Comments, questions, anybody else? It's been kind of a direction of the whole evening's class. It's a class. Yeah, my shows are classes. I know that, but it was kind of like, wow. So, and Myrna, you've got somebody you work through that also does trance, or they're just being there for you?
Being there for me.
Okay, and actually that's how I started.
Oh, okay.
I had a sister who was living with me at the time, and she would come in and let me know that, because I was working with Mother Mary back then, that she could feel the energy and whatnot. It was more or less, and I want to say, a teacher from one of the ministers, you know, the name Gladys from the First Spiritualist Church of Ondit. She was a guide. She was a guide when I was first opening up for this. And come to find out somewhere along the way that she did some trance work.
I didn't know that. Yeah.
I found out that I was supposed to hear it, but and I heard that I met her. I probably met her as a teenager. My mother frequented that church back before my dear mother passed to spirit. And so they're all around us, and they're there for a reason, to assist us. And that's one of the things we will attract the appropriate guides to us at the appropriate time. Okay.
Yes.
All right. And Sherry and Mary, Sherry in particular, and I hope can I say, because you've had a very recent loss, I want to say that you've got a number of people around you that are helping you to expand spiritually, to awaken more fully in that aspect. And I feel like that's going on with your sister Mary from Texas, who's in her beautiful orange down below. And by the way, orange, doing classes with Kenneth Custins way back when. Orange is a color from spiritually, is wisdom. It's a perfect color, okay? Wisdom, all right? So anyway, any other comments, questions? Yeah, this has been a very, very unexpected show tonight. And I am going to put this on for record, it's recorded on my YouTube channel. And please share it with people that you think might have interest. But there are a lot of new people who were finding my YouTube channel too. So comments, anything else?
A question.
Mary, yeah.
Can you ask for a specific guide? I mean,
As I said, every one of us works a little differently. Some have specialties. The work that I do is more geared to these higher ups, which includes a number of the archangels, a number of the ascended masters, of Arthur, of course, a number of saints. Myrna will chuckle. God, what's his name? Houdini is on my list.
Oh, really?
And I don't know if you knew that he and Arthur had outs.
Oh, yeah.
Because Houdini was bad-mouthing a lot of these wonderful mediums who were doing great work. Well, Houdini came through, and I've done one channel with him, and it's on my YouTube channel. And he's come through because he wants to let people know what it was like to be in the ego. He was out in the public eye. He was up on stage. It was all about him. Okay, because when any of us are stepping on the spiritual path, we've got to put our ego aside. We can still connect with it. Our ego can tell us if we're going to burn our finger. I mean, all those kinds of things. But when it gets down to it, it's got to be set aside. So, yeah. Another one. Okay, it's Arthur here. Arthur Ford is on my list too. And matter of fact, he was a Trance Channel and had a guy named Fletcher. He was from Florida. He's been gone since the 70s, so he's a more recent. But it's interesting to see those who wanted to come forward and be part of this group. I don't fully get the whole picture yet. I'm merely following what feels right for me. So anyway, but awesome. Okay. So Mary, other mediums may be able to bring a specific guy. I could probably do it if I don't know. I don't know. I can't guarantee. Okay. But everybody has a different specialty. Like someone will say, and there is a difference between a psychic and a medium, because a medium connects to the spirit world. Psychic tunes into what's going on here on this earth plane. Sometimes people, lose things. Some people are good at finding lost things, but others of us aren't. Okay. So, okay. All right. Okay, we're good. Everybody, we're good. I'm going to do my prayer here right now and thank for everybody here. I want to thank all the wonderful beings who came forward to assist in tonight's show. All those who assisted myself doing channel with Arthur, of course, Arthur, and who assisted, I want to say Myrna too, and bringing her into that wondrous state to assist her on this journey. I want to thank you all for the opportunity to share these gifts with people who are new to this, but to also know that love does never die. That's why all these beings continue to come forward to be with us, to assist us, and to guide us, because that love is there, because they love this planet, they love humanity, and are so grateful for this planet being here. And we want to thank you all so very, very, very much. We love you too. Amen. So, okay, so next week, if anybody wants to hear about natural law, that'll be great. Love to have you join us. And
Stacy's a great teacher.
you met Stacy? Good.
Yes.
Actually, Stacy and I did pastoral skills together out in
Did you?
Waniwak,
Waniwak,
in
Wisconsin.
Yes. So
Yeah.
yes, I
Yeah,
know Stacy. Yes.
Yeah, she's fabulous. She's very
Right.
upbeat, and very knowledgeable. You'll enjoy the class.
Awesome. So anyway, and I want to thank Sherry and Mary and everyone else for being here, and all of those who are going to be listening to this. Okay. And if anybody has any further questions in this, I'm announcing to those that are listening to me right now and will listen to this recording, contact me. You want to know a little bit more, or you got questions about it, or you're interested in experiencing a session yourself, reach out. That's why they're coming through, because they want to help us. They want us to grow. They want to see this planet succeed, and it is succeeding. It is going to stay here. But what's happening is we're moving into a higher dimension. We're stepping away from the third dimension. We're moving up into fourth, fifth, and sixth, if not further. So anyway, lots of love to everybody. Big hug to you, Myrna. We got hopefully we see each other again some point.
Yes.
And that was hysterical that I had that memory from your center.
Oh, yeah.
And that you were here. I had totally forgotten about that, but it was something that was an important experience for me. And anyway, so God bless you all. Have a great night, and hope that you'll join me again. I am, for anybody who knows anybody looking for mediumship class, I am starting a new round of mediumship tomorrow night. And all that information's on my website and on my Facebook page. So anyway, God bless. Big hugs. Take care. All right.
Take care, everyone.
You're welcome. Take care. Stop cloud recording. Yes.